We're now 48 hours into NASA's historic Artemis II mission to the moon.
Yeah, as the astronauts fly farther from Earth, they're taking the opportunity to look back at our planet. Mission Commander Reed Weissman took these photos of Earth before the astronauts left orbit. One image shows the entire planet from pole to pole, glowing against the darkness. That is so cool. Another captures what NASA calls a pale blue dot seen through the spacecraft window. The mission lays the groundwork for getting humans to walk on the moon again.
Getting back to the moon and walking around. Ron Trevino talking with a former astronaut about this mission and what comes next.
3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff.
As we all watched the Artemis II lift off into the Florida sky and beyond, former astronaut Terry Hart was cheering from his home in Pennsylvania.
When it comes to going back to the moon, I'm sure a lot of people in Houston are saying it's about time. What do you say?
Yeah, I think so. When I left NASA in 1984, I kind of thought we'd be to the moon before the millennium. I thought maybe like 20 years at the most, we'd be back on the moon.
Obviously, that didn't happen. Hart himself was among the first astronauts to go up in space shuttles, but he trained with those elite few who would actually walk on the moon.
What was it like to train with these Apollo astronauts who had landed on the moon? That must have been, were you awestruck?
You can't help it be. I mean, John Young was our boss, at the time, chief of the astronaut office, a man of very few words, but we all hung on every word he had to say.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Even Neil Armstrong showed up during his training, imparting as much knowledge as he could to the next generation of astronauts. One giant leap for mankind. But Hart says going back to the moon is a different game now.
It's more about extending our capabilities instead of just visiting and coming back with a few moon rocks. Now we're going to set up permanent facilities on the South Pole.
All setting us up for the next big goal, the red planet.
We don't have to invent anything to go to Mars. It's a major undertaking. It's a logistical problem, but we know how to do it. We've known how to do it for 20 years or more.
But first things first, getting our feet back on the lunar surface again. Ron Trevino, KHOU 11 News.